I often overhear these two questions asked by Republicans. How do we get our message out there, and how do we reach the youth? And the funny thing is that they ask these questions to people who aren't really in touch with people or the youth.
I think what's happening. Propaganda.
Okay, let's get this out of the way. Romney is the nominee. Is it going to be impossible for him to beat Obama? No. The problem is, by making him the nominee, Republicans have imposed undue difficulty on themselves in beating the liberals who will vote for Obama. Now, more than ever, we're at a point where you don't win an election with a candidate. You win elections with cultural perception. I keep telling y'all, it's the culture who puts these people in office. Government by the people, remember? Now, I hate to rub y'all's nose in this, but you passed up a certain victory when you let the liberals and the establishment Republicans control your perception of Herman Cain. And I'll remind you of why I was hoping he would be the nominee to answer your question as to how do we get the conservative message out there. Conservatives have the same problem liberals do. You're looking for a leader figure who can turn things around and lead us. Wrong. Herman Cain is an imperfect human being, just like you and me, but he still had a good grasp of what it is to be conservative. But I say again, this ain't about Herman Cain's presidency. It's about exposing the Democrats and who they are. Let me put it to y'all like this. If you want to connect the conservative message to people, you have to get the impeding agents out of the way. How are Republicans described in the culture? Racist, sexist, and homophobic, right? The first of which is racist. That's a stigma you might want to eliminate first. And when you had the prime chance to do it, you blew it and let the liberals take out your main weapon. Well, Herman Cain was a womanizer. If you're convinced that Herman Cain was a womanizer, that's fine. But are you gonna let amoral liberals pass judgment on Herman Cain? Really? Y'all, the liberals would have gone into a bigoted frenzy if Herman Cain was the nominee and would have exposed themselves, making it easy as wiping snot on your sleeve to point out who the real racists are. And with that, you could substantiate your points when you tell people that Democrats have always been the true racists. That way you take the stigma off you and put it back where it belongs, on the party that institutionalized racism, the Democrat Party. Therefore, getting that barrier out of the way that keeps you from connecting the conservative message with people, which would make them open to voting for conservative Republican candidates. Now, many of you have probably heard many non-whites are actually more culturally conservative. Big deal. They're not gonna vote for Republicans based on that. Now listen close, y'all, because y'all really need to get this. Conservative and Republican in their mind equals racist white folks. They are not going to allow their values to be associated with conservative and Republicans. Therefore, they will not vote for conservative and Republicans. Understand? You could have made significant changes in their perception if Cain was the nominee. Not because, oh look, the Republicans have a black guy as their nominee. No. But because they would have had to see who the real bigots are when the Democrats would come to tear Herman Cain down. You passed up that forget golden, you passed up the uranium that you needed to nuke the narrative and lay down the culture shock that would have decimated the Democrat Party. Also, you're not gonna reach the youth because you're separating yourselves from the youth you could reach. And the youth you could reach are in the Christian community. And Christian youth are creating an amazing artistic culture all their own. Rock music, hip hop, neo soul, extreme sports, comedy. These are the youth that you could have a chance to connect with, who are growing in culture, bringing others into the fold. But more and more Republicans want to go with the strategy of staying away from social issues, things like faith. Republicans, you're not only taking the harder road, you're repeating the same mistakes and shooting yourselves in the foot along the way. You didn't learn with John McCain? It's like I say, left-wingers tend to think they're so smart that they think they can tell everybody else what to do. And right-wingers tend to think they're so smart that you can't tell them anything. So there you go, Republicans. These are a couple of things that keep you from connecting with the culture and the youth. These are the things that you have to fix. I know it's hard, and I know you want the path of least resistance. But this is it, and the path of least resistance may still have a lot of resistance. I'm AlfonZo Rachel for Zo Nation, where I've already done it your way in the last election. I supported McCain. Actually, I was supporting Sarah Palin. But this time, I'm letting y'all clearly know that just like with McCain, Republicans have been manipulated by liberals as to who their nominee will be. Y'all really need to get this.